Hi friends, I'm Tammy K. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm excited because not only are we painting this vibrant fall wreath, but if you didn't know, I am not only an artist, but I'm a mental health therapist. And today I want to talk to you about how can you find peace while you're painting. So it's not necessarily about how we're painting this, but the mindset that we have. Let's get started. I'm excited to teach you all these things today. All right, friends, so we're starting off by, well, let me just show you my little reference photo. I'm not copying this in any way, but I'm just using this wreath as a little bit of inspiration today. And so we're gonna start off with what supplies I have. This is the B Company paper. It is not cotton. I've got my Winsor and Newton watercolor paints, just spraying those down. My Princeton Heritage brushes, number 2, number 8. And I've got a happy attitude, hopefully an attitude of peace. So we're gonna paint this together and just see where it takes us. Now I do have a circle really, really lightly with pencil, so I can follow that for our wreath. Just take a bowl, put it upside down, trace over it. Right now I'm mixing up my colors for my leaves. So I've got a sap green, I've got a green gold, which is really light, kind of got that yellow tint to it and very bright. Then I've got some oranges as well, and we'll just kind of see how we want to do things. So this circle right here, you can probably see it. If not, it is there, I promise. So I'm just going to be very loose and just kind of scrubby with my brush here in the shape of a leaf. Now, if you want to, you can make whatever shape you want. You could make this a long and thin leaf or round leaf. This is just a cute little heart shape here. And I'm going to do several of these along my lovely little wreath here. It's really fun to make wreaths because there's just a lot of holidays in which you can, change them up and make them festive for the occasion. So we're trying to balance this out and having different leaves in different sections so that they're not all like scrunched together, but that we have a variety of colors, of shapes, textures, sizes, all that stuff. So now with my sap green, I'm just essentially doing 2 C-curve shapes, filling in the center. So 1 C-curve shape and another one here. And I will eventually, do the vines for this wreath as well as little stems to connect our wreath leaves. But for now, we're just going to make these little kind of floating shapes. If it makes you feel better, you can add the little stem right now to your circle, and that can just help ground it there. So right now it's looking kind of funny, but we do have our circle and it's a nice guide to follow. So I've got my yellow ochre here, and we're going to change up the color of the leaf. I'm just doing these little kind of lines. It gives me a nice jagged edge for this little leaf. So if you want to play with the values too, you can go ahead and do that, add more water, less paint. And at the end of this, we're going to go ahead and do some line details as well. So I'm still trying to put in these various leaves here, just changing up the shapes because I want to make sure that not only do we have an interesting painting, but I'm trying to keep looking for the balance here. Every time I paint a leaf, I kind of try to figure out, is this starting to look like there is balance, like it's interesting? Right now it looks kind of nuts. Let's go ahead and add in some orange. I've got a really deep, lovely orange here. And we'll just add that in at this point. So I know in the video I said that I wanted to just have us reflect a bit on the idea of peace and finding peace in our paintings. And I think this can be done in many different ways as I'm trying to search out where to put my next one. Sometimes it's hard to know. If you are paying attention to the things that you are seeing and the experience that you're having, your body is going to be able to react in a very positive way. All right, we're going to grab a little bit of this brown too. I want to start adding in just using that rough outline that I have with the bowl shape. My little paint gets out, often falls out in this section here. And we're going to start doing the vines, and we're just going to do like little lines, and we're going to assume that maybe this vine has several layers. And same, holding the brush really loose, more than in the middle, like farther back than in the middle. You can do that and just keep in a light hold, adding in some little wonky viney pieces, because vines they curve and they twist and they turn, right? And they're not stick straight. So we'll start by adding in our basic circle here, and then we'll add in a few more layers. So if you're thinking about finding peace in what you're doing, it's keeping your mind open to just enjoying what's happening. We've talked about in other videos about painting or drawing or doing art from the right side of your brain, and that's where you enter that flow state where time is passing. You are just so absorbed in your project. You're probably not listening to a tutorial, because when you're listening to someone teach you something, you're using your left side of your brain, which is the verbal side. But if you're just painting on your own and you really kind of know the brush strokes and the moves of what you need to do, and you're just kind of intuitively creating something, you often are in that right side of your brain, which is the creative side. And that's where flow state happens, where time passes, you have no idea that you're hungry, tired, have to go to the bathroom. You're just so immersed in your experience. I'm just gonna take this lovely reddish brown color and start to connect the leaves in a way that makes sense, little stems, connecting them, because right now they're just floating and they're not connected to the wreath. And already you can see our wreath is coming together quite nicely. I'm loving the different shades of green. We have some orange, we've got that lovely yellow ochre as well. And I just want you to play around and have fun with this. So if you're paying attention to the things that you can see, the vibrant colors, the shapes, the textures, and then what you can feel, the paintbrush in your hand, swishing motion as you're swirling it in the water and in the paint, you are going to feel a sense of calm and peace within this process. If you're ever feeling like you're not at rest, and just go ahead and paint in a few little extra filler leaves wherever it seems to make sense, then take your paintbrush and just start making marks on paper. It really does a nice job at calming you down. And, you know, peace is this idea that, you know, you have this sense of calm, that everything is going to be okay. And this is called self-care, taking care of yourself. And if you can experience that in art, not stress and anxiety and perfectionism, but true peace, it's going to stem from, you know, how happy you are feeling in that moment. We're going to go ahead and do some berries. So I've got a really beautiful bright orangey red, and I'm just making these little dots all over that we'll be connecting later with our lovely stems. And you can, if you can, leave a little highlight in the middle of these little circles. You can even change up the values by doing some lighter ones. Dip your paintbrush in the water and then make your little circles. And, you know, I'm kind of just doing this intuitively, trying to figure out what makes sense, where I want to put things. Always looking for balance. You know, how does this look to the eye? I've got some berries hanging out farther there, and we'll connect those with stems and make everything look like it's put together. So if you can intuitively start to paint and try to make your painting kind of organic and natural, have a basic idea of where you're going, but then try to add in your own ideas and details, then your creativity starts to come out and you start to get a sense of pride in your work because you are orchestrating this. You're not copying something, and it's okay. You can copy something. There's nothing wrong with that. But being able to eventually start going off on your own when you feel ready, when you feel like, you know, trying it, can give you a great sense of accomplishment in your creations. So I'm just connecting everything, the little tiny stems. I've picked up my number 2 round. I forgot to say that. And, you know, so check in with yourself. How are you doing? How are you feeling that you're at peace? Are you at rest right now? I want to invite you to take a deep breath at this moment just to help calm yourself down. If you feel like you're stressed in any way, do you feel like your muscles are tense or your brain is active, or maybe you're overanalyzing and thinking, I really need this to look like how Tammy's looks. I need this to turn out perfectly. Remind yourself this is practice and it's supposed to be fun. And if it isn't fun, sometimes we just have to walk away, do something else, and come back to our artwork when we're in a better space. It shouldn't be stressful, and it's okay to try again later. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, I want to ask you to like it and subscribe to my channel if you don't already. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on my videos in the future as we're painting together. And I do offer bonus content on Patreon. The link is in the description of this video, and you can join for 7 days free. It's exclusive tutorials and there's different tiers. You can even get live stream access to paint along with me. So it's great fun. Check it out if you're interested in more bonus content from me. So we are continuing with our little watercolor berries here. And as I'm doing this, I'm just trying to see where things need a little bit of extra pizzazz. So I'm always trying to analyze, figure out if I need to add more things into the white space. What can I change? What can I augment? But now we're going to take some saturated sap green paint and we are just going to start adding in the veins for our leaves. So we're going to do some quick, thin, little C-curve shapes, line down the middle, and then of course adding in those little marks here as we do this. And I want you to think about this time in a space that is relaxing, that is fun. You can even blob on just a little bit of paint here and there if you don't want to add in the lines. And just have a lot of fun with it. Just see this as a practice to help calm you down and to get you to think about the present moment, which is going to bring you peace if you are concentrating and focusing on the beautiful thing you're creating right now. And as you're finishing up your wreath now, and hopefully you're breathing and you're relaxing and you're reminding yourself that you're looking for peace, take some nice watery light orange paint and just splatter a little bit on the outer edges of your wreath, adding a little bit of texture and a little bit of magic to the end of your painting. All right, friends, we finished our fall wreath painting. This chair is really creaky. And I hope that this was a peaceful experience for you. It was for me because I set my mind that that was going to be what I was going to get out of this. I hope it was joyful and fun and you learned with me today. See you on the next tutorial.